5 stages, 1 workshop, 1 hard lesson. Not every stone deserves your chisel. From the child who sees potential in everyone, to the teen wounded by toxic loyalty, to the young adult trapped by costly relationships, to the mature adult who protects the workshop, to the elder who knows when to set the tool down. This is the journey of toxic people across a lifetime. Kindness matters, patience matters, but some people do not just resist shaping, they corrode the hands trying to help them. Tonight, we ask when compassion becomes self-harm, and when the wisest act is to cut the rope. You're 7 years old, watching your grandfather work his magic in the dusty workshop. His weathered hands guide the chisel with precision, each tap revealing something beautiful hidden within the stone. He lets you hold the smaller tools, your tiny fingers wrapped around cold steel. Every stone has a story, he whispers, his voice echoing off workshop walls. But not every stone deserves your time. You don't understand yet. To your young eyes, every rock holds potential. Every fragment calls out to be shaped, molded, transformed. You collect pebbles from the garden, believing you can turn them all into treasures. Your grandfather smiles, but there's something knowing in his eyes, a warning you're too innocent to see. The child sees only possibility. Every person is a blank canvas, waiting for your gentle touch to reveal their hidden beauty. You haven't learned yet that some materials will crack your tools and leave your hands bleeding. You're 16, and your chisel strikes something that shouldn't be there, a hidden flaw, a pocket of decay that sends vibrations up your arm like an electric shock. Your first real friendship with someone whose darkness runs deeper than surface scratches. They seem like marble at first, smooth, promising. But as you invest your time, your energy, your careful attention, the truth emerges. Every strike of kindness meets resistance. Every attempt to help them grow only seems to chip away pieces of yourself. Your other friendships begin to crumble. The workshop that was once filled with laughter now echoes with arguments, gossip, manipulation. You watch helplessly as the toxic friend turns others against you, spreading lies like acid that eats away at years of careful relationship building. The chisel in your hand, once sharp and precise, now bears nicks and scratches. You're learning that some stones don't want to be sculpted. They want to destroy the sculptor. Marcus Aurelius knew this pain. Today, I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. The teenage heart wants to fix everyone, but the wise sculptor learns to recognize flawed stone. "25 and hungry for success. Your workshop is cramped, your tools second-hand, but your vision burns bright. You take on every commission, work with any material that comes your way. You can't afford to be selective. The client seems promising at first, wealthy, connected, full of grand ideas. But as the weeks pass, the red flags multiply like stress fractures in cheap stone. They change the requirements daily. They take credit for your innovations. They demand perfection while providing flawed materials to work with. Late nights in the workshop, your hands cramped around tools that seem to grow heavier with each passing hour. The sculpture you're creating bears no resemblance to your original vision. It's been twisted, compromised, shaped by their toxic demands rather than your artistic integrity. Your other projects suffer. The quality work that could launch your career sits neglected while you pour endless energy into this black hole of a commission. Friends tell you to walk away, but you're trapped by the promise of payment, of recognition, of finally making it. Travis Bradbury's warning echoes in the workshop dust. Truly toxic people will never be worth your time and energy, and they take a lot of each. The young adult learns that some contracts will cost more than they'll ever pay. "42, and your workshop is your sanctuary. The tools hang in perfect order, each one earned through years of disciplined craft. You've developed an eye for stone quality that can spot flaws from across the quarry. A potential client walks into your studio, smooth words, expensive suit, promising a career-defining commission. But your experienced eye catches the telltale signs immediately. The way they dismiss your previous work, the subtle attempts to manipulate your pricing, the red flags that once would have been invisible now shine like warning beacons. You quote a price that reflects the true cost of dealing with their toxicity. When they balk, you don't negotiate. When they try to guilt you, you don't bend. Your workshop is sacred space now, and you guard its atmosphere like a master craftsman guards his finest tools. It's one thing if a person owns up to their behavior and makes an effort to change, you remember reading. But if a person disregards your feelings, ignores your boundaries, and continues to treat you in a harmful way, they need to go. You turn them away. The commission would have been lucrative, but your piece is worth more than gold. Some stones aren't worth the damage they do to your chisels. "70 years old, and your hands move with the wisdom of decades. The workshop is quiet now, filled with completed sculptures that tell the story of a life spent in pursuit of beauty. Each piece represents not just what you chose to create, but what you chose to walk away from. A young sculptor seeks your advice, frustrated by a difficult client who drains their energy and corrupts their vision. You set down your tools and really look at them. The exhaustion in their eyes, the tension in their shoulders, the way they hold their chisel like a weapon instead of an instrument of creation. Some stones, you say, slowly, your voice carrying the weight of hard-earned wisdom, will poison your entire workshop if you let them. You walk them over to a corner where broken tools rest in a glass case. Chisels snapped by hidden flaws, hammers cracked by stubborn stone, files worn smooth by materials too hard to shape. Every master sculptor has a collection like this, you continue. Tools destroyed by stones that should never have entered the workshop. The young artist stares at the broken implements, understanding dawning in their eyes. Your life is too valuable to waste on people who don't appreciate you. As we sit by this fire tonight, let the flames remind you of something crucial. They consume what feeds them and reject what doesn't belong. The wise sculptor learns to do the same. Toxic people are like stones filled with acid. They don't just resist your chisel, they corrode it. They don't just fail to become beautiful, they make beauty impossible around them. And the most dangerous lie we tell ourselves is that we can fix them with enough patience, enough skill, enough love. The workshop of your life is sacred space. Every person you allow inside affects the atmosphere, influences the work, touches the tools. Choose your materials wisely, because some stones will crack your foundation and poison your craft. Marcus Aurelius carved these words into history. Kindness is invincible, but only when it's sincere. But even the kindest sculptor knows when to set down the chisel and step away from flawed stone. Your masterpiece awaits, but only if you have the wisdom to choose materials worthy of your tools. Now pick up your chisel, choose your stone, and create something beautiful.